Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsey of Lottie Albert and this is episode 36 of my crochet podcast. Today I'm going to be talking about some new things, including a free pattern that I have for you guys. Actually two sort of free patterns and some other bits and bobs I've been working on. I'm going to be catching you up on my book news, which is super exciting, and so many of you left me amazing comments on the last episode. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to be maybe showing you a sneaky peek of one of the projects and generally chatting. So the first project I wanted to share with you this week, which you may have seen if you follow me elsewhere, is this happy little sun. And this was actually my square. I can't remember which way up it goes now. In theory, it doesn't have a way up. This was my contribution to Hobbycraft's Granny Square Month Crochet Along, which is happening right now, this month. It's July. Every day this month there is a new square being released for this project. They're all free and each day is a different designer, if that makes sense. I did tell you guys about this a little while ago and I showed you the yarns, but here is the square close up. It uses mustard, surprise surprise, and pink and loop stitch. But what I've actually done, I think you can probably see, is I have cut my loops and then brushed all this yarn to make him super fluffy. So this is what it looks like on the back, because I want to show you the tapestry crochet, but just pretend like you can't see the shortcut I've taken with my ends, okay? Because that's not part of the design. So here's the back. Here's the back. So as you can see, this is, if you didn't do loop stitch and you just wanted to do flat tapestry crochet in single crochets, double crochets, this is what it would look like. And then this is the loop stitch side. And then for these sections here, I have just done surface crochet, which is a fairly new technique. I haven't really tried much before. So loop stitch is one of my all-time faves because I just love texture, and surface crochet, yeah, I mean, if you can do surface crochet, you will know it's not particularly complex. I've just never done it before. So if you'd like to try out my fluffy sun square, or if you would rather it just be a flat sun, you can just ignore the loop stitch and just do single crochet, UK double crochet. I will put all the links to everything I'm talking about below, and I think I was day 8 and it is now, as of recording, the 17th, Friday the 17th. So did it start on the 1st of the month? Anyway, there are roughly 17 squares if you want to catch up on them, but I don't think they're going anywhere. In fact, if you wanted to make last year's Knitcraft and Hobbycraft Granny Square Month Crochet Along blanket, it's still there. I didn't contribute to last year's because I was pregnant and grumpy. Wasn't feeling it, but this year I did. So that's my first project. The yarn is Hobbycraft's DK cotton blend. It's actually quite a thick DK, bordering on Aran, probably technically worsted, but it's called DK, and so I used a 5mm, and I think all the squares use a 5mm hook. When I submitted my sort of design idea for consideration to be included as a designer in this cal, it wasn't a sun, it was some kind of diamond design. I think I mentioned this when I talked about it last time, but when the yarn came, there was a slight coronavirus linked stock delay with the yarn, and so they didn't have all the colours that I wanted, and I ended up with the pink and the mustard, and there was like a nice tealy blue colour as well. I felt like the yarn didn't want to be a geometric design, it just wanted to be a happy sunshine, so that's what I made, a happy sunshine. But yes, possibly this amount of texture isn't for everybody, but why would you not like this? It just feels so nice. And don't be scared of cutting your loops. In theory, if you do your loop stitch the way I do it, which I hope is the right way. I was going to say correctly, but then I had a sudden panic that maybe I don't do it the right way. Anyway, it doesn't fall out. It all stays in, so don't be scared. Cut your loops and brush them and make a fluffy sunshine. Why not? Also, Ari, my ends, somebody left a comment on I'm really sorry, I've forgotten who it was, but somebody left a comment on one of my videos, the one where I was showing my baby makes and I hadn't sewn in the ends of my baby blanket, and they said, the day that you sew in your ends will be a sad day for us all. Case in point, don't want to disappoint people, just leaving my ends hanging free and loose. So that's my first project. My second project is actually also a collaboration with Hobbycraft and Knitcraft, and I don't have the finished object to show you, but I'm going to put a picture right here on the screen and leave it there while I talk about it, because this is a new pattern I have designed. You can find it via my website and also via the Hobbycraft website, but I'll put the link below, and it is a free pattern, so if you would like to make it, go and make it. It has tassels. I feel like I'm doing some kind of blue screen action because it's not really here. I don't have the finished project because I sent it off to be photographed, and it is now at Hobbycraft HQ, I guess. And yeah, they have it. I might make a second one for myself. I'll probably just talk about the photograph. I am weird in the day too, it's true. I got cut off. What I was saying was, these are the yarns, or this is the yarn range that I used for the bag. And it's the Knitcraft It's Only Natural yarn, which I just love all the names for the Knitcraft yarns. It's Only Natural. This was the colour I used for the main bag. Hello, there it is. So it's just this really nice sort of off-white natural linen colour. And then I didn't actually use this yellow, although I think I had that initially because I was considering using it. It's a really nice, just like buttery colour. And then these are the three that I use for the sort of accent colours of the bag. So I think this is blue, cornflower, and then this is a really nice kind of corally, almost photographs orange in some lights colour. So there we go. Sorry, I don't know what my camera's doing then. Those are the yarns I used, and it's a really lovely cotton to work with. It doesn't have any sheen at all compared to their the Knitcraft cotton blend DK. This is in theory also a DK, but it's on completely the other end of the scale. This is quite a thin DK, so just something to be aware of if you're using that one. I held it double to make the bag because it works up so much quicker. It does make for quite a stiff fabric, but for a bag that's perfect. So actually look, you can see I've got it held double here. The only slight thing that was a bit annoying about these balls is they did have a tendency to come unravel, sort of unwrapped. I think maybe just because they're cotton and they're quite a smooth, twisted fibre. They're not holding on to anything when they're in their ball. Does it make any sense? So they were a bit slippery customers. So you can see like this little ball of natural light ended up sort of just rewinding into a little ball because it was annoying me. Can you sort of see how like this is all about to go blah blah blah? I don't know why I just did that, because now I'm gonna have to sit here and yeah, see I'm gonna sit here and rewind it, but don't let that put you off because it is a lovely yarn. And you can make my lovely bag. Let me know what you think. I have also this week launched a new website, which maybe isn't as exciting as it is to me, but so you can go and check it out. You can go check out the new pattern and check out my new website. Previously I had a blog where I would put my free patterns and occasional things I would write. I don't tend to really write, I'm winding if you can't tell, don't tend to really write sort of like, oh look, that didn't take long, article style stuff. I just put on free patterns, and every now and again if I've got something I want to update, I'll put it on there. And I've been using Etsy, and I wanted to have a place where I could bring it all together to be one big happy family. So now you can visit my website, and it's got all my paid for patterns on there, and it's also got all my free patterns on there. It's got information about me, it's got pretty pictures, it's got links to all my social media stuff, so it's all in one place. And that's where you can find that bag pattern. I think we're officially calling it the Crochet Tassels Summer Bag. Catchy title, something along those lines. Anyway, I actually designed it in February on a very cold, rainy farm in West Wales, because it seemed like a good idea to go away for February half term. And in hindsight it probably was, because it was just before coronavirus and lockdown hit, so we did manage to have sort of a family holiday. But it was also February, and we chose to go to Wales, and it was really cold, really cold, and I was designing a summer bag, which is quite nice. A nice thing to do when it's cold and rainy, but nothing's ever seasonal when you have to design crochet patterns in advance. So 2 new things, 2 new patterns for you to go and check out if you want to, both very summery and textured and orange pinky themes, which I'm feeling is my, what's this, summer vibe at the moment. So I hope you enjoy those. Do let me know if you're going to make them. I'd love to see them. I don't think you can post pictures in YouTube comments, can you? But if you are on Instagram or Facebook, or you want to send me an email, I always love to see when people make my patterns. So yeah, you can tag me as @LottieAndAlbert or hashtag #LottieAndAlbert on Instagram or Facebook. Then I should be able to see them. And then the next thing I have to show you is another project I've been working on. It's not crochet, but after my little appeal in my last episode, so many of you were so nice and said, don't feel the pressure to sort of create just for the YouTube channel. You know, like, you guys just want to hear what I've been up to, which honestly, I suppose I kind of knew anyway. And let's be honest, it's not like I was actually managing to create much just to show it to you, but it just made me feel so much better. I guess, you know, somebody else said, you do you, like, this is my channel, but I don't want to be putting content out there if people are not interested. But yeah, so many of you were like, no, we're just interested in what you've been making, what you're up to. So I'm going to show you something that I've been making and what I've been up to, even though it's not crochet. And that is this month's project for the Craftiosity boxes. So do you remember I showed you the paper flowers in the last episode? That was the design I did for last month's box. Well, this is actually this month's box. It's gone very bright. So it's on sale now, so if you did want to go and check it out. I've already been paid for the project, so I'm not getting paid again to promote it. I just thought I'd show you because it's pretty and I like it. And also, I have been wanting to make some of these for the longest time. It may just look like a piece of fabric, but actually it's a wax wrap. These are the fabrics that are included in the Craftiosity kit. They're dashwood, and how cute are these little strawberries. So yeah, this is what the wax wrap looks like sort of before you use it. And then, there you are, I'll show you with my coffee cup. I mean, I'm sure you're all very familiar with what a wax wrap is, but it's basically an alternative to cling film or a sort of sandwich wrap or a plastic bag. So an object like this, my mug, say, we just fold it over, and then the heat of your hand sort of warms the wax, and then it holds its shape. Look how cute it is! Is it okay to get excited about a wax wrap? So yeah, I just love the fabric on this one as well. Like, this one's cute, but this one is so cute. Look at the strawberries. And then to wash it, you just wash it in sort of cool water. So you might not want to store something like raw meat in it, But you know, your sandwiches or your snacks or something in the fridge that needs a covering, you just rinse it down. If you rinse it with too hot water, all that happens is, if it's like boiling, the wax starts to melt again. But as long as you have more wax, you can just recover them. And this is really easy to make. So this is the kit. You get two pieces of fabric and the wax, and you get to make the wax wraps. And then also you get this really sweet little produce bag with a little embroidery kit. So here's a little bee that I've embroidered, and these are his little honeycombs. So yeah, and then you can store more of your veggies or garlic or whatever you want, really, whatever you fancy. Probably sweets in my house. So that's another little project that I've been working on. Predominantly, I do just work in fibre, let's say. Crochet is pretty much like 95% of what I do, and occasionally some knitting patterns or knitting. And I do also really enjoy weaving and macrame, so I guess they're all under the fibre umbrella. But I think I might have said before, I kind of came into crafts via, I guess, sewing, because my mum owned a patchwork shop, a fabric and patchwork shop. But even before that, anytime my mum ever wanted to go to like a crafty workshop, which the way I remember it was pretty much like every other weekend in my childhood, she just took me with her. So I had done so many crafts by the time I was a teenager and didn't even really realise that was just what me and my mum did on the weekends. We just went and did crafts, just, you know, paper crafts and decoupage and card making and quilling and felting and dyeing and sewing. And we never did, weirdly, the one craft that my mum never did with me, yeah, pretty much the only craft, is the craft I now do. I'm not really sure what that means. I don't know if it was just the last bastion of undiscovered craft that I took to, or no, that's not true. It's just because it's easy to do around kids and I just really enjoy it. But yeah, weirdly, crochet is the one thing that she never did, but I've got her into it now, and she has actually recently kind of switched, and she's gone from owning a fabric shop, she now owns a wool shop with some fabric in, so pretty handy. So when I do other crafts like this, I kind of feel like that's what I always used to do. I always used to do loads of other crafts, but I realised that people probably just know me for crochet mostly, especially if you're watching this, which I am timing a crochet podcast. But yeah, does anybody else, let me know in, oh, my eye's going weird, let me know in the comments, what do you guys pretty much only crochet and knit, or have you got like one other big crafting hobby that you do, or lots of other crafting hobbies you do? I'm always really interested when I hear what people are up to. I actually studied art and textiles at A level, and then I did a foundation diploma in art and design, and then I went and did a history degree, so I'm just all over the place. But then when I finished uni, apparently this is now a little story about my life, I got a job in a history publishers, so using my history degree, and I was always really interested in publishing. And then I worked there for a long time, and then I got the job at Molly Makes as a craft publisher. So it was like full circle, bringing everything together. You probably know that actually if you've been watching for a long time, because when I started Molly Makes 3 years ago, I think I probably talked about that. So yeah, so that's kind of where the multi-craft angle comes in for me. What else do I have to show you? I might talk to you a little bit more about the book, because it's super exciting. The only slightly annoying thing is it's probably not going to be out for quite a while, so I feel like there's no point in me kind of going on and on and on about it. It's just going to quietly happen in the background, hopefully, in theory. I am working on it, and then all of a sudden it will arrive and you can see it all in all its glory. But I wanted, yeah, I thought it might be interesting to give a bit of more information about how I'm going to approach it and what I'm going to include. And to illustrate my point, I have a project that I wanted to show you that I made, and I'm pretty sure I made this in the Gap where I wasn't recording podcasts. So this is a cushion, which would be not a shocker if you have followed me for a while, because I love a good cushion. And I did sort of plan this in that I knew I wanted there to be a lot of loop stitch, all of which I've cut, like I showed you on the sun that I made earlier. And I knew I wanted to use all Aran weight fabrics, too multi-craft now, Aran weight yarns, so I did that. And I knew I wanted to use all my sort of like special yarns or fun yarns or nice yarns, and so I did swatch in order to work out what size I needed, like how many stitches across and how many rows high I had to play with. And then I kind of drew out a loose design on graph paper, but I didn't write up a pattern or do anything since. And as you can see, it is quite free form. I wanted some kind of circular shapes and some more like geometric lines, but it is on the whole an abstract cushion, using loop stitch. And then some areas like here and here are just flat. They are loop stitch free. And the reason I'm showing you this cushion is not because I'm trying to tell you that everything in the book is going to be abstract and loop stitch, because it's not. You don't need to worry. But it is because sometimes, and I'm sure you all feel like this as makers, I feel like I get a little bit stuck in a loop of making things for other people. And so that could either be making gifts for people, which to be fair I don't do a huge amount of, or maybe like, you know, making garments for my kids, or if I'm commissioned by magazines or yarn companies to do projects. Obviously I get often to put my stamp on a design, and I don't tend to work on projects that I don't feel are like a good fit for me, but it's their brief, you're kind of making something that they've asked for. And sometimes I have realised lately this is actually becomes quite time consuming for me, is I'm offered sort of free projects or kits or things from company, which is really exciting and amazing, because hello, I'm getting amazing things for free. But then I sort of realised that I'm spending quite a lot of time working on other people's patterns, and that has its place and I enjoy it, but it's not what I really want to be working on. Or, you know, if I sat down and was like, what do I really want to make? What do I really want to work on? None of those things I just described really fall into that that bracket. Whereas when I made this cushion, this was just like all me. I feel like this is like me in a cushion. Okay, not everything in my house is this abstract or fluffy, but I used yarns that I really liked, that I had bought myself, in a design that I wanted to do, in a stitch that I wanted to do, and yeah, I was really pleased with the final product. And my point is, when it comes to my book, when I was first approached and asked to do it, I was obviously really excited because it's a book, and so it was unlikely that I was going to say no. But in terms of actual money for time spent, publishing is notoriously not the best money earner. So I was thinking, well, do you know what? I've got that many patterns that I've sort of half made or half done and I've never finally done. I can put a lot of those in the book, and then it'll be a quicker turnover, get it done and get it out, which has a certain grounding and you can sort of understand my approach. But as I started to plan the book more and plan projects more and everything else, I had a little bit of an epiphany, which was, I don't want to do that, because I want every single project in that book to be something that I really want to make, and something that I am really invested in, and something that I love. So that's my current plan, and that's how I've shaken things up, and I am so happy that that's what I have done, because yes, it maybe would have made more sense time-wise to revisit some of those older designs and patterns which I just never got around to kind of like publishing. But also, if I'm going to put a book out there with my name on it, I really just want it to be like the best version of itself that it possibly can be. So this cushion is not in the book, and there isn't a project that looks like this in the book. That's not what I'm trying to say, but I wanted to use it as an illustrative tool to talk about how I'm approaching the book and what I want to be in the book. And because I think I said last time, because I am working with a smaller publisher, I basically have the creative license and the free reign. There are certain parameters that we've agreed that I'm going to work within, but yeah, I can do what I want. I can do my book. So yeah, that's what I'm really excited about. Yeah, so it's going to be, I think I said homewares and accessories on the most part. There was one question that I got in the last podcast, which I thought was quite an interesting one, that I will also answer if I haven't been talking for too long. And then I'll probably wrap up this week's podcast. And the question was, why do I tend to do sort of homewares designs or like accessories rather than garments? Because, you know, there are so many designers who do garments and do it so well. And I have never really thought about it that way, but I think probably just because I have never really thought of myself as somebody who was particularly into fashion. I've always enjoyed like shopping and wearing clothes, but I've never thought of myself as like a fashionable person, or, you know, I feel like I've never come at it from that angle. But interiors, I have always just loved interior design, and yeah, part of me almost wanted to go into sort of architecture, and then I did toy with the idea of retraining as an interior designer, but, you know, I've never obviously taken it that seriously. It's just maybe what I think of as like part of my creative umbrella. So I think when I just think of ideas for projects in my head, home-based projects like baskets and blankets and cushions tend to spring to mind. And yeah, I guess that's just the way what I'm interested in. I'm interested in interiors, and so I'm interested in designing homeware pieces for my home interiors. I hope that answers the question. And they tend to be quicker for me. And from a designer point of view, if you are writing a cushion pattern, it only really has to be one size, or I guess a cushion or a blanket, you can grade them into different sizes. But if you're making a garment, people's bodies are often very different shapes, and I don't necessarily even just mean like larger and smaller. Like, you might be skinny but have big boobs, or you might be tall but have a really narrow back. And so for me, thinking of designing garments, I may not be a starter finisher, but I do definitely have a side of perfectionism. I don't know if those do not go together, but yeah, I get nervous about garments because I'm worried that they're not going to fit people if I design them. And probably there are courses and things that I could do to learn about grading and fitting better and whatever. But yeah, my mind just doesn't go to garments, it just goes to homewares. So yes, I'm going to do one last sneaky peek of, this is going to be a book project. It's a scrap project. I was really keen, another thing I'm going to waffle about, I'm really keen to do as many scrap projects, but also use sort of more sustainable, environmentally friendly yarns in the book. So there's very few projects that use acrylics, and if they do, it's normally as a scrap project, and there's lots of sort of hemp and cotton and other fibres. And I know there are issues with cotton and water use and things as well, but I suppose, yeah, I just wanted to try and reduce the plastic as much as possible. So yes, I'm just loving all these colours together. Look, focus, focus. Mustards and blues and yellows and lilacs and pinks. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed watching today. Another little bit of a strange episode where, sorry if I've talked too much, but I just really appreciate the core people, because I know there is a core of you who just come back and watch every single time, and I just feel like you are my people, and thank you. Thank you for listening to my ramblings, because I really enjoy making these videos, and I feel like every single fortnight when it rolls around again, I'm like, oh no, I haven't made anything. So yeah, trying to find stuff to talk about without it being too waffly. Maybe I'll edit a lot of this out. But yes, thank you for being here for me and for subscribing. Oh, we're really nearly close to 5,000 subscribers. So if you are still watching all this way in, but you're not a subscriber, hit subscribe if you feel like you want to, because I have promised everybody a giveaway once we hit 5,000 subscribers, and we're really close now. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Bye. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsay, and this is episode 36 of the Crochet Podcast. Let me just check. It is episode 36.